we bring the emotions helmet. So we put it on the head of the customer and the tester, and we ask him now, go through the journey. Let it be a real walk through journey or digital journey. And we start, and the helmet, because it's connected as a tool, so it will start recording his emotions: anger, dissatisfaction, passiveness. And then we have a full map similar to the heart examination when you do it in the hospital, and we say, okay, that's the result of what we designed. Dear chief marketing officer or whomever, do you accept that? That's the real customer test.
But they did an assessment of how long businesses thought it took them on average to resolve a customer issue. And it came in at something like 4 minutes. And then they asked the customers, and the customers say it was 4.5 days.
And I have seen the product manager, he's requesting something for the sake of the customer, a design that will make it easier for the customer. And the answer came, well, from an IT point of view, it's not doable. And then I joined the discussion, as a consultant. I said, well, from a customer experience point of view, this is not acceptable. And he fall on the ground laughing. He could not imagine that there is such a statement in the world.
Business people kind of involved, and that's my digital transformation message. Is I teach non-technical people, get involved. Like, they need you. They need you before, especially with AI now, they might actually end the world. Hello there, my name is Martin Henley. This is episode 2 of the CX Education Leadership Podcast. In episode 1, we were blessed to be joined by the brilliant Hany Mokhtar, known as the CX Master in the GCC region, and if not in the whole world. And interestingly, Hany is back with us again today. So if you need to see the full introduction, you can go back to episode number 1, and it is there in full. You will see a bio of Hany in the description below. And if you want to be blessed with Hany's training, maybe you should come and join us in Barcelona in May, where he is hoping to be with us. So without further ado, we are here today to talk about 2 of Hany's fantastic CX conceptions. That is CX Lab and the CX board game. Hany is the CX master. He is joining us all the way from Egypt today. Hello, Hany.
Hey, Martin. Glad to be with you once again, and with everybody in this podcast.
Fantastic. I don't know how many people there are going to be here already, but hopefully in the future, everyone who cares about CX will get to see this podcast. That's my intention. I'm going full bore with this thing. I'm going to make sure everybody on the planet knows that we're on a mission to fix customer experience in 2026 and beyond. That's my mission. Dude, you are my new favorite man in CX. You definitely are. I mean, you're the first person that I've really reached out to. But I feel so blessed that we found each other. I really do. And also that you're back again with us already in episode number 2. In the future, there will be a variety of guests. In the future, there's going to be a variety of content. I think you and I might do some kind of content topic type stuff. And hopefully we'll find lots of interesting and useful people to talk to who have been successful in CX. That's my plan. I have big plans. I'm marvelously optimistic.
Yes. So yeah, I guess we have a mission, as you said, and a purpose that we're trying to attain, which is the best for everyone. And surely customer experience advancement and continuous improvement is our way to do so.
100%. And so what's happening is I'm busy writing the brochure now for the course, which will happen in May. And I'm having to formalize and formulate. I've got a great little piece on you and I, how we have very different journeys and came to the same conclusions. Like you coming from service, wondering why people keep calling, me coming from sales and wondering why I have to keep finding so many new customers, but coming to the same conclusion. And it is for me this idea that customers are the most valuable asset in any business. If you don't have customers, you don't have a business. And opposed to the prevailing narrative that the only value that counts is shareholder value, and the only way to deliver shareholder value is by stripping the business of costs entirely, which is about taking value away from employees, taking value away from customers. My experience, and I'm sure your experience, is when you drive value for all of those people, the value just goes up. And I'm on one now. We're supposed to be hearing from you, but I'll finish. It seems to me that businesses can be offering lots and lots and lots of value to the people who work there, to the people that they serve, to the communities that they exist in, to the countries that they operate in. And so this idea that it should all be about shareholder value just blows my mind. I think we covered this last time, didn't we, as well? I think we're going to cover this every
Yes.
time.
Yes. Always, always.
Good. So I think this is the last thing I want to say. I think customer experience is the most noble mission in business in 2026. That's how I feel.
Yes. I
Good.
agree.
All
I
right.
agree. Big time.
Excellent. Good. So we're here to learn about you really and find out about how. Well, we kind of did that in the first episode of the podcast. So now we're getting more into the ways that you are delivering value in customer experience. And two of those ways that I know about but don't know anything about are the Customer Experience Lab, the CX Lab, and the Game. And I'm going to shut up because there's so much I want to say. I'm just going to wait and say it later on when it's appropriate. So, which are you going to go with first, the CX Lab or the CX board game?
The CX lab, the CX laboratory is an important
Okay.
lever.
Okay. So, I suppose what we need to know is what is it, why is it necessary, and how is it effective? That's probably the three questions.
Yes. So to connect the dotted lines, we have the two worlds, the customer life, the customer verse, if I will say, and the operations, the company operations verse. And we said our mission is try to bring them together, is to try to integrate the viewpoint, the customer perspective into our operations. And as you remember, when you ask every one of the service teams, wherever they are, if it is your mother, if it is your wife, he will act completely different than his customer. And if it is himself, later on when he is done with the mission or the job assignment, he will act completely different. So there is obviously a segregation that we all recognize and we need to work upon. Herein, we bring the laboratory as a middle piece to integrate all the efforts to bring the customer world into the operations as a mandate, as a way of work, as a pivot that we can always rely upon or we can always rotate around in a progressive, constructive manner.
Okay.
So the laboratory is where because rarely you will find our employees living the life of the customer. And speaking about culture that we have referred to, the customer centricity culture, it will be an initiative. Yani when we reach a level of success and we say, wow, this organization, they have this level of customer centricity where they ask the leaders in one day to go and sit instead of the frontliners or with the frontliners and answer calls in the call center or sell in the retail outlet or receive people in a hotel or in a bank, etc. So that's only, but we don't have the cadence of systemically testing things similar to the customer life. So here, when we build the lab, when we equip the lab, we are actually bringing the customer life inside the organization. So for example, let's assume you're a supermarket, and in the supermarket you have number of stations. You have the deli section, you have the butchery section, you have the rotisserie section for the coffee and the nuts, and you have the fish, etc. section. So now, do you have in the office, not in the supermarket, do you have in the office a space similar so that you can test what would happen to my customer?
I see. So you're talking about an area where you're going to design processes and you're going to test these processes to see how customers are going to react or how they're going to be impacted or how they're going to feel about those things. Okay, interesting. Why is that necessary?
So every time when we speak to, for example, I have seen it in one of my assignments, where I say, where would you put, it's one of the supermarket chains, without mentioning names, just respecting the privacy of the client, of my clients.
Yep.
So in one of the assignments where they have put the self-service kiosk, the automated machine where you can purchase few items and you pay, and where they say, you know what, we have put it in a particular location. Now, did we consider how will the customer get out in his way, where can he find the bags if he will take bags, or where will he assemble the grocery items and he get out. We did not. We just only developed from the IT world and from the marketing and customer care, each segregated. We have developed a concept and we know it will work, but we did not test it in the customer world. Now, if I have a complete supermarket setup, even if it's a mock-up, but now I test the location and in my way out, I will find it's in the wrong place. Why? Because the queue of the other customers whom are waiting for the true cashier are blocking the way, so you cannot do it. And then, okay, now I know I have taken the wrong decision. This is not the right place. But then the IT will tell you, well, I cannot extend cables. Now, do we put the horse in front of the cart or the cart in front of the horse? The cables are extendable, irrespective. You manage your sockets, you manage your connection. But how do we know that? Do we know it after fact or before launch?
Okay, good. Okay, good. So what you're talking about sounds to me like user experience. Like, how is the user going to experience that environment, that layout? How are they going to interact with it?
Yes.
Because I've got a challenge for you. It seems to me, like you say, everybody has a say in the layout, in the thing, and I think supermarkets are particularly interesting because there is a whole industry on influencing where products are placed and all of those things. So, like, reps are turning up every 20 minutes. We want our products here. We want our products there. We want them somewhere else. But it seems to me that the core motive is money. Like everything in business, or everything in a not very deep-minded business, the core motivation is money. So like you say, it's not because that's going to give the customer the better experience or the user the better experience or it's going to fit. It might be because it's just cheaper to have 5 meters less cable than it is to have 5 meters more cable. Or in supermarkets specifically, and I hate this, where they dispense with the checkout people. And now I, with no training whatsoever, am expected to check out myself. And we are, and it's not new, it's been going on for 15 years, but it's the same also in McDonald's, where now I go to McDonald's and I refuse to use those machines because I knew exactly what they were the first time I saw them. And to be fair, I gave them a go. And then when they changed the UX completely and they expected me to learn a whole new UX without any training whatsoever, it's like, I'm not going to do this anymore. So now I go to the counter and they say, you have to use the machine. And I say, I don't work here. I don't work here. I'm going to tell you what my order is and you're going to do the machines that you've been trained in. So I'm talking too much again, but it seems to me,
yes,
if the business is already considering, okay, they're considering the user experience, okay, like for efficiency, for whatever, are they already considering the customer experience?
That's a question. So yeah, please proceed.
Yeah. So, for example, are they considering what's best for the customer, or how the customer is going to feel, or how it's more efficient for the customer? Because I'm just a bag of issues, Hany. You're coming to know me. I've got an issue here with shopping malls, where I ride a motorbike, and I was meeting my friend in a shopping mall recently, and I was outside the shopping mall like 3 minutes before I had to meet her. It took me another 18 minutes to get into the shopping mall, park my motorbike right at the other end of the shopping mall, and walk something like 3Ks back. So for me, that's more about customer experience. I don't know. I mean, you tell me, are they interested in the CX lab because they make more money and save more money, or are they interested in the CX lab because they want to improve the customer experience?
So basically, what will the CX lab resolve somehow to a great extent, I would say. So if you are in the hospitality industry and you have a hotel, would anyone test how would the customer, whether on the user experience level or on the customer experience level, be able to make his orders, to manage his room, to open the curtains, etc., or we will have to do it in the customer room? Do we have any, when the marketing put a new plan and say, you know what, I'm going to add a new iPad tablet that you click upon and you get your orders, did anyone test that? The usual test is there, but funny enough, there is a UAT, user acceptance test. But guess what? Who is the user in terms of the IT language? Our lovely friends in IT. The user is you, is the internal product manager or the internal project manager, but not not on behalf of the customer. And there is no similar environment to the customer environment. Where is the customer environment? It's in the outer world. That's where we see the segregation happening again. So we know after fact, can we bring the outer world inside and we test on behalf of the customer with the mentality of walking in the customer shoes? That's where the lab will work.
Yes. Okay, so the CX lab then is really for a business that has bought into the idea of CX already and is now interested to test those things
Yes.
before they implement them. Okay, I get it.
You know what, Martin? Because this role of customer experience, sometimes it's a sole warrior in the entire organization.
Yeah.
Now the lab is usually, because you're trying also to manage your politics within the organization as a CX leader. So me and you were talking to CX leaders pursuing the mission of cascading the value through customers, not the value through making money on the expense of customers. So,
Yeah.
dear CX leader, now if you have the chance, and you will, and we can tell you ways how can you do it, whether in Barcelona in the boot camp or any other discussion, we will tell you tactics that will make you cascade. So when I discuss, there is an IT lab in any case. Can we enlarge and augment the concept to be customer centric laboratory? Can we build upon that? We have ways to make this tactic happen. Then not necessarily that the entire organization, when I measure the maturity, they adopt customer experience. It could be an adoption of 30%. It could be someone in the leaders board. It could be 2 or 3 people in the leaders board. Now, by launching the CX laboratory, you are actually reinforcing your position of thinking like a customer.
Okay, good. So it seems to me, this is what I see, is they talk about businesses being customer centric, or they talk about businesses being product centric or organocentric. So the business is either all about the product or the business is all about the organization. But what I see is something quite different. I see that businesses and hierarchies are egocentric. Like people go to work just to stay in a job, and everything they do all day, every day in their work is just so they don't get fired. So what's happening is all the way up the hierarchy, everyone is just doing as they're told, doing as they're told, doing as they're told. And then they're condensing the good stuff that goes on, or concentrating the good stuff that goes on and reporting about that. And the bad stuff isn't. Because it seems to me that in lots of organizations, it really is much easier for an employee to lie to a customer and threaten a customer and dismiss a customer and hang up on a customer than it is just to serve the customer and give them whatever it is that they need.
Own his issues, to own his issues.
Yes, 100%. Now, I had a person on one of my trainings. She was amazing. And she'd been employed in a customer service role. And this was in Saudi. So she turned up on the first day and she starts taking calls. And then on the third day in her job, she gets a call from a customer. They're a B2B kind of operation. Again, customer confidentiality. We don't need to know exactly who it is. But what happened is, on the third day, she got this call from this business owner, and he was saying, look, I've been on this for years and I'm having all of these problems and all of these issues, and it's causing me costing me all of this money and all of these things. And I'm at my wit's end, and what do I do? And so what my friend did is she packed up her stuff and she got in her car and she went to visit that guy. Now, she's not paid to be going visiting people. She's paid to be sitting on the phone. But when she got there, she sat down and they documented all of the issues and all of the things and all of this. And then when she got back, she went from department to department to department, just fixing this guy's issues. So now all of this trouble is going away. Now that she found her way on the course, which was for senior CX leaders, because now she was being accelerated through her promotion because she got it. She got that the idea is not, if you're in customer service, just to answer a certain amount of calls, get them finished in a certain amount of time. The idea, the real benefit or the real purpose is to actually address people's issues. So
True.
I'm going around the houses again. I'm with you 100%. For me, it's an about turn. Like if you want to make your business customer centric, it has to be stop being immediately about everybody who works in that business, and it has to be and it's a 180-degree switch. And I think you're right. I think the biggest challenge in CX is how they present that case effectively to the business so that they actually have some authority to deliver the customer experience. Because it seems to me that customer experience people, I don't know how far down this road I want to go, but I saw a brilliant meme about step parents. And the issue with the reason it's so difficult to be a step parent is because you've got all of the responsibility and none of the authority. So you have no say in what goes on, but you have to take the blame for everything that goes wrong, And it seems to me that that's where customer experience is in a lot of instances, where every business is flying the flag for customer experience, but are they actually really doing the work?
Yes. So the question here, by the way, when without thinking of the lab, without bringing the lab as one lever for us to connect the two verses, the two worlds together, to surprise you, in one of the assignments, when I took the responsibility, when I started building the lab, and it was not part of my tools that I am aware of, one of the team members, and he was kind of junior, he said, are you really, and he was coming from the digital transformation, rather from the CX, the digital team. He said, can we bring the eye tracker? And by that, it was kind of 10 years back or a little bit less. I was like, what is the eye tracker? He said, well, if you are building a customer lab, then we leave the customer world, then I need to bring the tool of the eye tracker. Then here we installed the eye tracker and we invited customers. So we created customers club, not customer
Yeah.
experience club, customers club. So customers were invited to come and test. So now we're really applying, bringing the two verses together to be a one unified verse. The customer came, we asked them to check on the website, can you do the following mission that it is important for you? And then he started doing the mission. The eye tracker is following his eye, and we are reporting this is high effort. He cannot find it. He cannot. And then we are redesigning the experience based on the customer insights.
Okay, good. So now I kind of get it. Because businesses are supposedly run on the numbers and the science and the metrics and all of these things. So the lab, by making it more scientifically empirical, tested data, then that's one way that's a weapon for customer experience people to drive their initiatives.
Very much, very much. The IVR, if you change the IVR, and I don't know, press 111, I don't know, hashtag, etc. Now, in the lab, we have the IVR tree testing experience, and we can invite the CEO or the chief financial officer, and they test the experience. So carry your mobile and do the thingy, and we record his trials, how many times, how much time did he have to wait. So we tell him now that's exactly happening with our customer. And it's like, oh, okay, no, I don't accept at all that this happens to my customer. So the lab is allowing them to do so.
I see. Good. Okay, interesting. Because
In the lab, yes, go ahead.
okay, so I think part of the issue for customer experience is that it's seen as a fluffy belief. We should treat our customers nice. We should be nicer to people.
Cherry pie, yes.
Yeah. Like it's a fluffy. And then we touched on this last time we spoke, where we said it seems like it's either you completely neglect your customer or you have to give them wow experiences. And nobody seems to understand that just when you deliver on the promises that you've made, customers are going to have a much better experience, Okay, good. Interesting.
One tool to share with you that is important. We brought, and we usually bring the emotions helmet. So we put it on the head of the customer and the tester, and we ask him now, go through the journey. Let it be a real walk through journey or digital journey. And we start, and the helmet, because it's connected at the tool, so it will start recording his emotions: anger, dissatisfaction, passiveness. And then we have a full map similar to the heart examination when you do it in the hospital, and we say, okay, that's the result of what we designed. Dear chief marketing officer or whomever, do you accept that? That's the real customer test.
Excellent. Good. Because I told you about my theory about airports, that they're an exercise in how stressed they can make you to make you spend more money on chocolate.
Yeah.
Because it feels to me like, I've got this thing going on currently with an airline where I've spoken to 11 people and one of them tried to help me and it still isn't resolved. And the other 10 people just completely shut me off. So, yeah, there's a study that I saw, which is done in Singapore, and they're a CX consultancy. And they did some brilliant stuff. I'm going to use their data. But they did an assessment of how long businesses thought it took them on average to resolve a customer issue. And it came in at something like 4 minutes. And then they asked the customers, and the customers say it was 4.5 days. So it seems to me, if I'm getting this correctly, I mean, like we were touching on before we started recording, it seems to me like a lot of these systems, processes, measurements are all put in place to disguise the fact that we don't want to do a good job for customers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to give people somewhere to hide behind. So I suppose if you are driving the data through the CX lab and the emotions through the CX lab, then that is addressing the two core things. Because it's no wonder people are hate working in call centers if every person they speak to is enraged because they're already 3 hours into the issue and they've been through IVRs over and over and over again. When I phone my bank, I don't anymore because it's torture. It's like you have to be really careful about what you tell them the issue is, because if they've heard it before, they're going to send you to a recorded message that says, oh, you just need to do this thing, this thing, this thing, and goodbye. And it's like, no, this is my money. This is my money. It can't be, I'm just going to do that. I wouldn't have taken the trouble to phone you up if I could do it on the website. Okay, good. So it works in supermarkets. What other kind of businesses have you run the CX lab in?
Hotel industry,
Okay.
airlines, banking,
Okay.
technology providers. Yeah, so imagine if you, for one of the leaders of the mobile phone leaders, if you want to reset your account password, they send you an email. They say, in order to secure you and make sure it's you, you're going to wait 14 days. I'm not going to say the brand because it's not our objective, but our objective is to cascade it.
The thing is, I mean, to be fair, yeah, I think it's almost every brand. It's almost every brand. So what, you can't access your account then for 14 days?
Yes, because we want to secure you, but we don't want you to get execution done or get it done via low effort. We want it via high effort, not high easiness. The 4E are coming again.
Okay, so I think, I don't want to be making enemies, but I think one of the biggest challenges, let's put it this way, is IT. It seems to me like this idea of technology. Have I told you yet? I tell everyone about my Hotmail account.
No.
I opened my Hotmail account on a beach in Thailand in 1999. I might have been one of the first 1,000 users of Hotmail because I happened to be in Thailand and I needed to get a message home and I wasn't going to write a letter, you know? So I'm on a beach in Thailand, I open my Hotmail account. Now, I don't remember the last time I opened the Hotmail account because if I try and log in, the security question is they want to know the name of the town. It wasn't a town, it was a beach, and the postcode of the town where I opened the Hotmail account 26 years ago.
Oh my, yes.
So it's insane. So I think, and I think not just of CX, but I just think there's a real issue. Like we both work with kind of digital transformation ideas also, but I think there's a real issue where people who don't really live in the world, IT people, are running things. And I think that's a mistake. I think there needs to be more business people kind of involved. And that's my digital transformation message is I teach non-technical people, get involved. Like they need you. They need you before, especially with AI now, they might actually end the world.
Yes, yes, I very much agree. One of the things that you can, by the way, just talking out of being proactive in this regard, I have experienced it myself. IT people whom were looking for the customer experience leader and whom were very willing to ride the right compass direction and join on board. And
Yes,
there were others whom, yeah, and there were others whom were very much satisfied or comfortable with the word of this very famous statement of from an IT point of view, and then they put whatever they want to say to an
yeah,
extent where in one discussion around a product, and I have seen the product manager, he's requesting something for the sake of the customer, a design that will make it easier for the customer, and the answer came, well, from an IT point of view it's not doable. And then I joined the discussion, as a consultant. I said, well, from a customer experience point of view this is not acceptable. And he fall on the ground laughing. He could not imagine that there is such a statement in the world. It was the end of the world. That's the end of the world when he says from an IT point of view it's not doable.
it's done. Plot,
Done.
finished.
Then, yeah, then thunderstorm came to him like Thor, as like, from a customer experience point of view it's not acceptable. And he kept on laughing. What's this? There's something new in the world. Yes, because there is a customer. Ah, okay, so there is a customer, I need to worry about that.
Yeah, and that almost makes my point about how it's a diametric change. The IT guy was just doing his job. And what he expects is when he says, I'm the cleverest person here, I run the computers, I get the biggest budgets, I do da 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 da. When I say it's the end, it's never even occurred to him that there's a customer at the end that has to be able to work it, or else he's not going to get paid and there's going to be no new computers. It's like,
Yes.
yes, perfect. And
And to be, yes, to
no,
be fair, I have met the other persona of IT where he came and he said, "You're a professor of CX. You're teaching CX. Come and I will bring the IT team, and we will have a number of. It's not a boot camp, but a number of classes, workshops with you where they learn my IT team, where they learn customer experience gimmicks, customer experience science, and how can they integrate that into their business operations."
yes, because and this is the great trick, I think, is people have kind of been corrupted by this idea. Like, I think if you were to sit down and have a sensible conversation with everybody, they would all say, yeah, we want the customer to have a great time. And then, but they've been corrupted away from that because they've sat in their silo and they don't ever hear from a customer. They don't ever, and businesses are building digital walls to hide behind. So they never get to hear and never have to hear from a customer. And IT are helping them to do that. But I think if you sit people down and say, what is your kind of mission, then everyone will be interested in making sure that the customer gets good value. Maybe not the accounts people.
Yeah, well, funny enough, what do we do, by the way? When we launch the customer club, as we mentioned, I invite the CIO to have his son as a member in the customer club because he's a customer. So,
Fantastic.
and we bring his son to the lab and we say, please test the following service and get us your feedback. How many steps do you have to do in order to work with the automated machine, with the kiosk, digital kiosk? And I was
Yeah.
like, well, it's 25 steps. And they would say, okay, good enough. Not only that we reported him as a customer, but when he go back over lunch with his daddy, he's going to
Yeah.
say that it was 25 steps. And that was like, oops. And it's my son. I want the better for him. I want it easier for him, etc. So like, okay. But rather than going in the outer world and bring a regular customer feedback survey report, customer complaint discussion, doesn't click as much.
Yes. And the thing is, we are all customers. We are all like, even those people in those businesses, they are customers, and they're all facing the same frustrations, and
Yes.
then they're creating the same frustrations for their customers in their businesses. So this really is like a pandemic of, like everyone is so siloed and everyone is so shuttered. So the intention with the masterclass in Barcelona is that we are hoping to bring senior people from all different departments, like, because the what we know is if it's not being led, then customer experience doesn't really stand a chance, and customer
Hmm.
experience doesn't really improve. So that's the intention. I don't know how successful we'll be. I suspect we'll get some really good CX leaders, and proactive CX leaders, and then we'll send them back into their businesses like
Yes.
like motors to drive that change. Okay, good. So
Let me, if you allow me to add one flavor of the laboratory, just to augment the idea.
yes,
So,
please.
talking about service centers where customers are visiting you, and when we applied the lab concept, I said, okay, just bring for me a space where I can see the retail outlet where customers are being served, and they said, here is the sofa in the laboratory place. I was like, this is the sofa. How many can you measure it? They said 120 centimeters. I said, well, you design it for how many person to sit on? Because this is
25.
a similar, a similar. He said for two people. I said, no, excuse me. In the Gulf or in the Arab world, these spaces. And I'm not sure somewhere else, maybe other cultures. I respect all cultures, but we don't stay that close to each other, and there is a personal space of at least 30 to 40 centimeters that you have to worry about. Now, if he sits here and he sits, what type of fitness that you are bringing it to them? And they're like, okay, 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 noted. We will reconsider based on the. So we invited our customers or our people to sit like a customer, two people sitting. We're just doing like this, 120 centimeters. So you're allowing me 60 centimeters, so 40 and no space. You cannot move your elbow. You cannot do anything. I said, this is not a sitting place unless you are designing it for a one person to sit, and he will sit in the middle exactly, and then no one is sitting beside him. Then the capacity of sitting down is much less than you planned, given the traffic that you know in your outlet.
Okay, good. Now I know what my challenge is with the CX lab,
Yes.
which is that experiences are so bad. They are so bad. Like, I
Yes.
challenge you to find a comfortable seat now in an airport. Now,
Yeah.
run airports know that people are sitting there for 5, 6, 7 hours. Like,
Yes.
why are they making airports? I mean, I have got this thing about airports, but you won't find a comfortable seat. And then they make it
Yes.
worse because they're like, well, if you're like a frequent flyer, we'll give you points, and then you can go to the club. And then I am a frequent flyer, and I don't get the points, and I don't get to go to the club. So the whole thing is just compounded. So it seems to me, but I don't know if I know the answer, but I think I might know the answer. But it seems to me that
Mhm.
experience is so bad. It's like any business that is interested in a lab to finesse or tweak the experience is already really on board and really customer experience already.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
that true?
Very much. I agree with you. The beauty of the lab in particular situations is that any retail outlet design or hotel room or real estate, by definition, they have a space that they call it the mock-up, the testing center, whatever, that. So
Yeah,
they have the space, but it's not deployed for the outside in for the customer. It's deployed for the internal testing. So
yeah.
the customer experience leader has the opportunity to benefit from this, to capitalize upon that, given the limited support that he might get at the beginning, and transform the idea into, rather than from a testing center, to a customer experience laboratory with technological tools that we will guide them on, with concepts. Then you have it there.
Okay, good. And then you can use that lab to demonstrate just how bad the customer experience is. Is that's it?
In the university, but just to add, and I'm not sure, are we, I hope we're enriching the discussion by that. In the university where I teach, so now, how many, because that chair that has the arm where you can write upon, but
Yes.
I'm left-handed. I'm left-handed. Okay, so
Okay.
so
Well, you don't deserve to. to lean on.
They say it's part of the, being a genius or something, but just I don't want to mention that. So that, in
Whatever.
any case, yes. So when you count the number of seats in the room that has the right arm, the right wooden arm that you will write upon, or the left, you will find all of them except two. Now, is two the right percentage, or is there a way, a journey when he joins and he's a left-handed, or do you want him to stay twisting like this and right here? And it's not in somebody's mind. It's something he is born with. I am left-handed. What can I do? Do you want me to stay to play? I am not in the gymnasium, to play this exercise.
Yes, yes,
But I
yes.
want to write. So if it's left, then I can write with my left hand. And if it's that's what we. So in the laboratory, we put one for the left, one for the right, and we make the calculations around it.
Sorry, someone's trying to call me.
Yeah, okay.
His user experience. Sorry, man. I'm on a call.
It's
Yeah, hotels. It frazzles my mind that you arrive in a hotel. When I arrive in a hotel, typically, I've been traveling for 16, 20 hours.
yes,
And then they want my telephone number. And
yes,
I'm like, I'm not giving you my telephone number. Why do you want my
yes,
telephone number? It's like, unless we need to call you. It's like there's a toilet, there's a telephone next to the toilet, and there's a telephone in my room if you need to call me. Oh, but what if it's an emergency? And it's like, it's not got anything to do with needing to call me. No hotel has ever needed to call me in my entire life. It's because they want the number for marketing, and that I have to
yes,
have this. That I have to have this argument when I've been traveling for 16 or 20 hours. It's like, leave me
yes,
alone. Just show me the room. Give me the Wi-Fi and leave me alone. Maybe have a chat with me tomorrow if you want my telephone number. Um,
yes,
um, Sorry. So yeah, so it just seems to me that the customer experience is so bad. And
yes,
I think you're right. Kind of what you suggested is it's because everyone's put in their little 2 pence worth. Marketing need this, IT need that. But like when they give me a tablet and they tell me to input my data, it's like I haven't worked in data entry since one summer when I was at university. Do you know what I mean? I didn't travel for 20 hours to come here and do data entry. Like you do it. You've got my passport. You've got my thing. Like, do you know what I mean? And it seems to me. Okay, so it's finance I have an issue with. It's finance. What they're doing is they're moving the cost of staff onto the customer. And now we have to do the work in McDonald's, in the supermarket, in the hotel to do work that used to get done by somebody who was trained to do it, enjoyed doing it potentially, but most importantly, took the money home and fed their family with that money. You know?
mhm, mhm. Yes, I that's another dimension of. There are two points of view here, but we are trying to be very objective, as following the scientific dimension.
Yes.
There is a segment in Gen Z whom they don't want to interact with anyone. Does this contradict with your needs, Martin? No, because if there is a use case that doesn't want to interact with someone, we can cater for it. But there is also another segment persona who wants to be served by someone. Then the business has to allow both options in an omni-channel experience, similar to the communicating vessels. But you don't tell me, well, I am pushing you towards the low cost, operational model, and forcing you to go for the low cost operational model rather than supporting you in making your choice, voluntarily.
Yes. Now, I don't know how responsible businesses need to be or should be for the fact that there are now a generation of people who would prefer not to engage with people. But I think that is something that needs to be addressed and that needs to be stopped,
Yes.
because there's no greater thing in life than engaging with people. So if you are literally looking at screens all day, every day, and scared to talk to people, and they all have all of these mental health issues. Anyway, that's an aside. We don't need to go there. Okay,
No,
good. So,
yeah. But I agree with you. If now if we follow this, just to prove the point that it has to be not about cost cutting rather than delivering convenience. If there is a segment whom don't want to interact with someone, do you really make it for them easier or via 25 steps? When you say we want to invest to make it for them easier, you say, oh, no, I refrain. Then it's not about making it easier and convenient. It's about cutting costs on
It's
the
a,
expense of the customer.
but and this comes to the prevailing narrative, which is the only value that counts is shareholder value, and the only way to deliver shareholder value is to reduce costs at every opportunity. So, for example, I used to phone my bank in 1989 and have a chat with the bank manager, and he'd say this, that, that, other, and it would take 2 minutes. Now, if I have an issue with the bank, I'm in a chat bot or I'm chatting to an AI, and it's a morning. It's a morning just trying to get an answer about my money, which is probably the most important thing that I outsource. You know, it's the only thing
Yes.
that's external to me that really, really matters. Okay, good.
Yes.
So then, two last questions on the CX Lab. So the first question is this, but we're going over ground, but just clarify it for me. Is this about exposing the failures of their customer experience more often, or is it about tweaking the customer experience to really make sure? I think I know the answer.
It's about creating a platform, a venue where we can live the customer life typically, where we can validate and confirm what will the customer go through before launching it to the outer world. We test it on his behalf, not we test it on our behalf. And that's
Right.
a huge difference. I'm sure you get it.
That's the 180 change in direction I'm talking about. It's like
Yes.
testing your businesses goes on to justify that everything is good, whereas testing in this instance to be meaningful is like, is this actually going to work?
Reporting, yes, reporting what? When we test it, reporting what? Reporting whether the execution failed or successful, because
Yeah.
his execution, not our IT, with all due respect to our IT friends, reporting the execution. And if the execution is successful via high effort or low effort, his, when we say customer effort, and is this mapped to his expectations, fulfilling our promise or only marketing? And is this yielding the positive emotions or not?
Yes. Okay, good. So that leads me to my only other question about the CX Lab, which is the emotions helmet. Is that actually measuring their emotions, or is there?
It does. It does. Scientifically, it captures your brain responses to the events that you're witnessing. So somebody smiling in your face, and then your response is like, yeah, you smile. So the tool technologically, it captures your brain responses and it reports it in a manner, because on the nerve system, your responses are reflected in your brain, and the helmet is very similar to what happens when your heart pumps high or pumps low and you measure. So it is there. It's no mess. It's a real tool that is there. So every moment, then for example, when you face something really ugly and you frown, it captures it and it shows that this is a sad emotion.
Okay, good. Because I was joking. I thought you had like a hat and you'd have a dial on the head and say, oh, I'm angry now, and you turn the dial. But this is actually registering their actual emotions.
Yes, and reflecting it on a screen where in the lab I set another team and I get the permission of the customer. Another team are watching you.
How
Those
much?
team are taking. Come again.
How much does a helmet cost?
We can share via number. I can share the vendors, the known vendors. It depends on
Can we
the
make one for the
contract.
masterclass?
Yes, of course. You
Let's
can
do
bring
that.
one and play. Yeah,
Do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I,
The other team is mapping it. Well, talking about the lab, in room two, where the customer is not there, in room one there is a camera and reflecting. In room two, we make the complete wall similar to the wall behind my back. We make it as a whiteboard wall with the journey.
yeah.
So everyone can come with and he start drawing notes live. So while the customer is witnessing it or testing it, we're taking notes. The product owners are taking notes. At the moment of receiving him, shaking hands. At the moment of saying goodbye, etc. At the moment of paying. At the moment of reviewing the bill, etc. So he's saying, this is a moment that we have to worry about. Then now we are designing the experience.
Good. Excellent. All right, good. I was joking. I thought you were going to say no. It's just like a hat, and it's that's what I was thinking. Like we're just making it up, and they'll say, "Okay, good. Okay, wow. I didn't know that existed. Wow. Okay,
It
good.
does.
All right then. So we've been talking for 48 minutes already.
Okay.
Time flies when we're talking. I think, Hany.
Yeah, yes.
It
Yeah,
doesn't.
I really like.
So I don't know how much longer you've got. If we need to cover the board game in this conversation, or if you want to do it, I mean, I'm happy to go either way.
I think we can proceed. We have like 25 minutes.
Okay,
We
that
can
I'm
we
cool with
can
that. Cool with that. Yeah.
yes. As much
Okay.
as the game will get attention, I welcome that.
Okay, good. So, similar questions. What is the game? Why is it necessary? How is it effective?
Okay, so the game concept started from thinking about the audience. Now we have the target customers or our customers and being served via our internal people, our human capital. And these human capital are we are all kids, don't forget, we are all still kids, irrespective. We are upgraded in size, upgraded in powers, maybe, but we are still with the kid mentality, all of us. I guarantee every one of us we like playing, etc. So playing is one of the favorable tools to cascade concepts. And given that we believe these are constructive concepts, then we got to cascade it via playing.
Okay.
So the famous Seven Samurai movie, where the samurai come and brings his team, we allow the CX leader to bring his team. Not of the CX believers nor the CX disbelievers. Create a combination, a combo of believers and disbelievers. Bring them in a team, and the other competitor is bringing them on another team. Now, the seven samurai or the five samurai are playing against the five samurai on a board, a customer experience similar to the Monopoly concept. So we are now on a challenge of what we are in an adventure of collecting jewels in the jungle. And that's the board that we are going through the journey. The journey is what is the customer journey. Now, what are the jewels that you're going or the gemstones that you're going to collect? It's customer happiness.
Okay.
So in the jungle, what are you going to face? You're going to have your compass, you're going to find to have your torch, you're going to have your tools. And these tools are mapped to the customer experience management game. How do we manage customer experience? Now, you're going to face a challenge, and it will tell you, dear Samurai Team 1, your customer is witnessing the following challenge. What is your decision? And then you have a time that is clicking, and then you have choices, and then you have your budget, and you have your tools, which tool to invest in this particular challenge. Then you put your answer, and then we as the controller of the game, the manager of the game, we press on the red buzz or the blue buzz. Is it the right answer, ta 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 ta, or is it the wrong answer, teet, wrong answer?
So do you know the right answer or the wrong answer? You know the answer.
I put the score, actually, I map it to a score. If it is suboptimal and not even long term nor long term, it's a -3, -3 points.
Right.
Or if it is on the short term or the long term only, it's a +1. You get one gemstone. Or if it is on the long term and the short term, right, it's a +3.
Okay.
Then now you collected some gemstones, some jewels, and the other one is worried to collect the same. So moving his token to the next stage. Be ready. Imagine what if you invite your finance friend to the game, and he's challenged. Now Martin witnessed the following, and you're the game. Martin witnessed the following challenge. What's your decision? Do you
Yeah.
compensate him or fix the issue and compensate him? Do you make a customer journey workshop, or do you ignore the issue and just let him suffer? And he has the choices.
Yes.
Then
And
he
there's
puts
a
his
certain amount
answer.
of resource for each of the choices.
Exactly. You have the budget, but there is a particular moment where you come to the chest box.
Okay.
So when you get the chest box, when you land on the chest box station as a Monopoly, the chest box, it gives you choices. You choose the card, you pick the card randomly. You either have choices or chances or questions or tasks. And guess what? If it's a task, you're going to face Martin, your customer, who's my team actor. Face Martin. You have 1 minute to convince him to be satisfied. That's your task. So now the CEO is meeting the customer in a simulation mood, and he has to win the game. So you have to convince him. So you have the budget, the investor currency. I call it the investor currency when I designed the game. And like, convince Martin to be happy. Like, do you take money? Do you want to take? What do you do? And Martin knows when to stop and when to continue. Not to make it, only a higher level or hard challenge, but to make it actual like a customer.
Cool.
If he tells him, okay, bang your head to the wall, then wrong answer. Okay, you lose. You and your team, you lose. Not the entire game, but you lose this station.
Yes.
Okay, what
O-
if you get a chance? We're going, please, go ahead before I proceed. Go ahead.
Okay, good. So I'm getting a sense of what the game is. It's
Yes.
kind of a test under pressure, under limited resources. What are you going to do in this situation? You're competing against other teams. How many teams can there be?
2, 1 versus 1 per table. I can do another game table, but
Okay.
per table, it's 5 versus 5.
Okay, good. So we're going to have 20. So we'll
Yes.
have two games but being played. Okay, good.
Yes.
This
You will
this
be
sounds
running one
like
table, I will be running another. You will
okay.
be running one table and pressing the buzz and giving the answers and counting the score. And so you will be the referee or the arbitrage, if we will call it.
Okay, good. So that's what the game is. Why is it necessary?
Two aspects in this regard. Number one, you're playing a game, you want to win by definition. We are
Yeah.
still all kids whom we want to win. You're a team player with the team, you want to succeed in the. So we're actually planting underneath the skin. We are planting customer experience underneath the skin in the shape of winning the game, which is very accepted. And we're
Yes.
bringing it. The other thing is you are basically reflecting the challenge that the customer is facing in the game, so that okay, I don't need to I don't need to swear, I don't need to get him outside. Dear CFO, my friend CFO, and I love finance people, but do you agree that we give him compensation, or we fix it from the root cause, or we make it an easier life journey for him? Then when he gets out and when we go to meetings in the customer experience board, that's governance, it's a separate discussion. Maybe as we agreed, we will take it somewhere in other discussion. In the governance board, in the CX governance board, he will not vote against CX, he will vote with CX,
Yes.
because he played the game. He knows that that was the wrong answer. The buzz will always remind him that, he will always remember. The buzz will remind him, I have made the wrong choice, I'm not going to repeat it again.
Yes. So really, it's about tricking them into thinking the right things about CX.
It's inducing them to live the game, really, the reality that me and you we have known before. So
Yeah.
we came from the other world of the customer, but it's a matter of cascading it to your brain in a positive manner that you would accept. We all
Yes.
like playing. Tell me who doesn't like playing? Whomever, in the greatest man, in the most wise, the most old man, etc. We all like playing. So
Yeah.
when you play and you play for, I say it, by the way, I put this quote: "We are playing customer experience, not with customer experience."
Yes.
That's the
Well,
business game. The business game is a customer game.
yeah. Okay. Did you get meta on me then? Um, so
So
you're getting people. So the mission, I think we're aligned on this.
yes,
Okay, so I think we're entirely aligned on this. The mission is to go against the prevailing narrative, which is the only value that counts is shareholder value. When in fact, if you are delivering for customer value for customers, employees, everybody, then there's much more value to be shared around and much more value for shareholders. But the mission is you don't get to do that on your own if you are given the title CX, but not actually the authority and the budget and the thing, because it is this diametric change in direction. So now you're playing this game with people who aren't CX people to get them thinking the right way about CX. And
yes,
because we
big
do
time.
this under the guise, because we con their ego into which wants to win into doing the right CX decisions, when they go back into their environments, that we
Offices.
thinking CX again. Yes. Okay, good. All right, I love it.
So
So, yep.
before you go, if you allow me, when you go to the chest, because there are three chest boxes in the game, it's not only one. So when you land on the station, rather than Marlborough or Manchester, you land on the chest box number 2, and you get the card, you withdraw the card, and the card says it's choices. We give him the choice. Do you want to purchase the VOC for a 50% discount, or do you want to make a promotion for your customers?
Yes.
I has a choice. And he has the investor currency. There is a budget with him.
Yes.
Now, if he chooses to give a promotion, he doesn't lose his investor currency balance. But guess what? The investor currency at the end of the journey, the 50,000 will get you half a gem.
Right.
But when you invest in the VOC, your score is tripled all the way through. Every touch point, every challenge, it's multiplied by 3. It's like, oops, what did I do? Now I want it again, and the other team will do it. Then when we discuss the VOC in the boardroom, I say, dear Mr. CFO, I need your approval on the budget of it. He doesn't now, we don't need to debate much. He believes, he knows, he has experience at that before.
Yes. Brilliant. And it's a board game, so it's not an online simulation or a computer simulation. It's an actual board game. It's analog. Everybody's seeing each other. Everyone's playing against each other. Okay.
With the tokens, you choose your tokens. If I showed you the tokens, you'll love it.
Okay.
I can bring it now. I can show you the tokens. If you allow me a second, I'll show it to you now. Yes, I'll show it to you. Here we go.
Okay, is that a lectern? Oh, it's a map with a microphone.
It's a token, the customer journey.
Okay, it's a
and
map
the
with
design. Yes, and here is the chest box. It's one of the tokens.
Okay, great.
So you choose your token and you go with, because this is where the customer happiness is. That's what we're trying to collect.
Yes.
There are a number of other tokens, but just I brought a sample to share it with you to induce the feeling.
Brilliant. Because the thing that excites me most about this is when I run a training, is I really want to change people's lives. And it seems to me because I'm weird and stupid, most people just want to get through the day and go home. But I feel like if you give me a week of your time, I really need to bring some benefit to your life, And it seems to me that of all of the topics that are important and useful, I don't think there's anything that's more important than useful. But it seems to me that this is the most transformational. This really is about a change of perspective. And you can change people's perspective. You can demonstrate, like you say, they're going to want to see data and reports and experimentation and all of these things. But when you do that in CX, you get the right results. Like, it's obvious happy customers aren't going to be calling your customer service team so much. Empowered customer service people are going to be able to resolve more calls. So it's obvious to me and to everyone, I think maybe in CX, that obviously a customer, a business that serves happy customers is a more efficient, more effective, more profitable business. But we are going against the current narrative. But that's my point is, but when you demonstrate that, when you show people, when you get them to make the game and they make the long-term investment for the benefit of the customer, then the penny will drop. And I think that's the opportunity in CX, is it's just a question of, can we make the penny drop for these people? And certainly for the people that we're looking to serve in the GCC region, like this should be the most natural thing in the world. Like this is, if you were, and I do ask them, tell me about your culture. It's about respect. It's about gratitude. It's about hospitality. It's about generosity. It's about all of these things. Care, like all of these things. So it's like, okay, just go to work and be a good Saudi, go to work and be a good Emirati, go to work and be a good Qatari, because if they do that, and it's only because they've bought this other idea from another part of the world that maybe it's not. Okay, good. I'm back on one again. I don't need to be.
Yeah,
Good.
no, no, one dimension that to add. You remember when I told you I will create a combination of teams. One or two players are of CX background or customer care when we play the game.
Yep.
So that's a catalyst. So dear IT, whom you are not really proponent of CX, dear finance, maybe you're not. Then you have someone from customer care, and he knows, like, yeah, 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 no, do this way. Then we in the team formation, you have forces that are, yeah, it's a catalyst now.
Yes.
So in the choice, and then so when we come to the choice, or when we come to the, I was like, yeah, yeah, no, 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 we do it this way. I was like, okay, okay, I get you now. So the customer care gentleman, whom a member of the Seven Samurai is happy because he knows that you resonate to his world, you're making his job role easier. The finance started to get additional. It's not only the CX whom are trying to induce me, it's a number of other players. And when you raise a scientific question of what's the difference between transactional CSAT and relational CSAT, like, I have no idea what is that. So there is a card that is called question, and it's a scientific CX question. You want to
Yes.
win. Like, you tell me, dear CX, because you, as the CX leader, the Seven Samurai leader, you know the answer.
Yes.
So it's getting them inquisitive about what is this TCSAT and the RCSAT? I don't know. Like, okay, I'm gonna tell you about it after. Then they get inquisitive as well from a learning, or ignore it. It doesn't matter. But you get some people, because we have fans in the room whom are cheering the team one and team two, like, yeah, yeah, go, go. Like, what is this? Can you teach us? Like, yes, we are happy to teach you. We're going to make an orientation session, differentiate between American CSI and CSAT, between MPS and CS, between customer health index. Like, okay, we get you. So
Yes.
you are not only creating a game, you are creating a world of CX induction it's a shockwave in the organization.
Brilliant. Because that's how you bring about a transformation, like a shift in attitude, is you get them to tell you. And I've got this thing that where I say to people, like, if I tell you something, you might believe 5%. If I get your good friend to tell you something, you might believe 50%. But if I get you to say it, you're going to believe that all day, every day. Good.
Big time.
So, what environments have you played the game in, and maybe which environments is it most useful or most effective?
So I have had customers from the IT industry, from the telecommunications industry, from the B2B world, from the automotive industry, from the customer service as a call center operations industry. So I have had from the banking industry. I have had from the retail industry. Uh, these are, I think, a number more, but at least that's what I can bring now at top of my mind.
And what sort of mix do you have? Okay, so that's what I'm interested to know is how often do you have? Okay, so firstly, is this like an open group? So it's people from any business, or are they kind of in-house groups? They're teams,
So primarily, if it is for as a corporate educational program, I prefer that it's internal teams.
right?
But because in the academy, my customer experience academy, I try to run it every when and then, so every 2 months,
Yep.
I bring from various industries, and we start inducing people around it. So I arrange with the leader from my students or from CX believers, and we start to make. So we have the two flavors, either in the corporation as a corporate educational program, and we run it this way, or every 2 months in the customer experience academy.
Okay. And if you're running it internally in a business, how easy is it to get like cross-functional leaders in the room? How easy is it to get finance people in the room and IT people in the room and executive people in the room?
So the beauty of the game, the marketing of the game around it, it brings everybody. So you just raise the invitation and say whomever register first will get his place. And
Okay.
we try to, in some sort of a gimmicks, we keep one or two seats for famous people. It doesn't matter which level are they at, whether they are on the frontliners or the executive management or middle management. Once they are famous, everybody they know is like, oh, okay, it's interesting. Let's watch him. So watching is a value, and playing is a value, and cheering is another value. So we have the three levels. So once we put this, we agree together with the organization. Sometimes it's the CX day. Sometimes it's a CX day every quarter.
Fantastic. And so give us a sense of how it is effective or how it has been effective.
I can in a later instant I will share with you videos when they started from zero to hero. I was listening to them before the game, and the game it's around between 2 to 4 hours, because it's not that short, but it's important to get indulged in the game. It's not a 10 minutes. It's
Yes.
between 2 and 4 hours, and when you listen to them after the game, of like, I am hearing a CX specialist. He believes. He's saying notions that even we have not educated them about. And you will hear someone telling you it's a revolutionary game that teaches you that the small changes that you do to the customer will impact the bigger game, which is the total business. I was like, bullseye, done, done. I don't want anything else. That everything else now we can reinforce, of course, and build upon. We don't just let it. We build consultancy, we build education, etc. But once done, done. You have someone who was not knowing anything about CX. When he finishes, he said, of course, CX has to happen on two tracks: on the short term, where we immediately resolve the issue; on the longer term, where we resolve the root cause of the issue. You have not educated him nothing, and he learned it about it.
And this is the beauty of it. This is the thing that I love, is that it is transformational. It is an attitude. It is like in a world that's changing at a million miles an hour all day, every day, politically, geopolitically, economically, technologically, like businesses need a North Star, because if you're not a customer focused business, you don't have a North Star. So that's the beauty of it. Good.
In one of the incidents, while we're playing the game, the challenge was, what do you do with your employee? And it was an educational sector. He was one of the leaders in the educational and the training sector, and he said, well, I just have to inform him that that's the situation and let him deal. I said, he's your employee. He said, I will force him no matter. And like the answer came with the buzzer, teet, wrong answer. I was like, why? No, no, you know what? Now I need to know the right answer. I said, the right answer to cater for your employee experience so that he caters for the customer experience. As like he said, how in the world I missed that? I should have thought about it. Then you have a specialist out of the game in only one incident. Like, yeah, no, okay, of course, it makes sense. How in the world I missed it?
Resistance is gone. They just want to win. It's not like
Yes,
we're not going to debate this. Like, is it better, softer, easier, nicer, whatever? No. I want to win. Like, what is the best thing for the
yes,
customer? I want to do the best thing for the customer, because then I win. Genius.
yes. And imagine the
Genius.
cheerers. If one of the cheerers is this guy, the employee whom is suffering from the issue, what is going to do? Yeah, back there. And then when you're done, everyone is going to revert to who? To the CX universe that you created, to the CX samurai. Like, can we join you? Can we support you? Then we launch the CX club for
Yeah.
people who inside. And then later on in a discussion with you, maybe in another episode, we're going to discuss the CX club and how we play with the tactics of the CX club.
Super cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes,
Good.
great.
So, unless there is anything else you want to say about the CX Lab or CX Master, is that the name of the board game?
The CX Mastermind, yes.
CX Mastermind. Is there anything else you want to say about either of those things? Did we do a good job of covering those things?
I believe so. I would leave it to our customers, to the audience. We're outside in. I hope
Good.
it's execution, it's emotions, it's less effort or higher easiness, and meeting their expectations, hopefully exceeding it.
Okay, fantastic. Good. Then we got to the end. I
Yes.
don't need to ask you to recommend anyone, because you've already recommended people that we can invite for the future. So that would be good. We should probably tell people to like, share, subscribe, comment, etc. Get involved, because that will help us with the algorithm, and that will be good. And I am probably on a mission. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my career. I'm going to drive this thing. I think it's the most noble challenge mission in business in 2026, and especially in this region. I think there's a real opportunity. Yeah, I don't need to get on my soapbox again. Hany, you are an absolute legend. Thank you so much. We're going to have more conversations, so that'll be good. People can come back to hear and check in on this. If they want to see us, they can come see us in Barcelona in May. That's going to be a really exciting. We'll be playing the game. We'll be talking about all of these issues. We'll be taking you out to visit a really exciting case study in Barcelona. So there's lots of good reasons to do that. Hany, you're an absolute legend. Thank you so much for being here. And I will look forward to seeing you again really soon.
Yeah, hopefully I will see you as well, and we shake hands in real life.